There are times when the words of Jesus send us back on our heels. His teaching seems so harsh, so direct, and we ask ourselves, can anyone heed these words? This morning's gospel is a good example of what I mean. Jesus is making his journey to Jerusalem, fully aware that he will be rejected there and put to death. And as he is making this journey, a great crowd of people are following him. People who are curious, interested, hopeful, joyful, waiting for the next miracle. And then suddenly, Jesus turns on the crowd and explains to them the cost of being his disciple. If you want to be my disciple, he says, you must realize there is nothing more important than following me. Not your family, not your friends, not your own life. Nothing is more important than following me. If you want to be my disciple, be prepared to carry the cross, for I am about to be crucified, and the same thing will happen to you if you follow me. If you want to be my disciple, calculate what the cost of what you are undertaking is. Don't begin something you can't complete. Don't enter a battle you can't win. If you want to be my disciple, renounce your possessions and follow me. Such is the cost of discipleship. I wonder what the reaction of the crowd was that day. I wonder how many people left Jesus and no longer followed him to Jerusalem. I wonder what I would have done if I were in the crowd. Would you have accepted this call to discipleship? Or would you have said, enough is enough? I wanted to follow Jesus. I wanted to be his disciple. But this is too much. This is too costly. This is one of those difficult texts that we would rather forget, skip over, or explain away. For example, we could say, Jesus really doesn't mean what he says here. Or we could say, Jesus only intends this for a very few people. Or we could say, Jesus is exaggerating to get our attention. But maybe Jesus means what he says. And if he does, then we have to find a way to reckon with his words today, even though these words make us feel very uncomfortable. At the very least, Jesus is saying there is a cost to following him in the way of discipleship. There can be no discipleship without sacrifice. There can be no discipleship without surrendering something that is precious and dear to us. There is no way to follow Jesus apart from sharing in the cross. There can be no resurrection without death. Sometimes we hear the Sunday gospel and we leave the church inspired. Other times we hear the gospel and we leave the church consoled. But not this morning. This morning's gospel is different, isn't it? We hear this gospel and we leave puzzled, perhaps disturbed, and we ask, how can this possibly apply to my life? The answer to that question comes from deep prayer and reflection. It comes from an intimate, personal relationship with Jesus. The answer will be different for each one of us. But one thing is sure: there is a cost to following Jesus.